Hey y'all, we're going to have a very short video today because again, we're a little bit ahead of Miss Idstein's class. So I decided to take the notes that she created and just shorten them a little bit. So you'll notice this looks a little bit different than the notes that you have on the computer. I've just shortened them up. We're just going to do 3 of these. So when we factor trinomials, remember we want to use A times C. So most of you guys have got this. This is just for those who need a little refresher, and just to talk about one thing, especially with number 4. So A in this case is 1. It's the coefficient right here. So some of you guys are putting like x squared, but remember the variable and the exponent are not part of the coefficient, just the number in the front. So A is 1. C is the constant. It's the one back here with no variable, so C is 3. So if I multiply those together, A times C, 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, so now my task is to think of 2 numbers that multiply to be 3 and add to be 4. Well, this one's not too bad because there's only 2 numbers that multiply to be 3, and that's 3 and 1. 3 and 1 happen to add together to be 4, so that works out nicely. So let's write those down. Remember, we do leave the first like it is. That's going to be x squared. And then instead of the plus 4x in the middle, we're going to do plus 3x plus 1x. You don't have to put that 1 if you don't want to. It's understood. Plus 3. And then you remember how we would cut it in half right here. All right, factor the GCF out of these first 2. Well, both of those have an x in it, and the lowest exponent is 1. Remember, I always pick the least exponent. And then what I'll have left in the parentheses, just like we did yesterday, 2 minus 1 is x to the first. 2 minus 1 is 1, so I've got just x to the first right there. And then 1 on this exponent, 1 on this exponent, those cancel out completely, so plus 3. And now I'm going to look at these two. So this caused some of you guys a little bit of trouble when we did this kind. Notice that this is already exactly like that. So the GCF I want to factor out of there is a 1. If you don't write that 1, it causes problems in the next step. So even though I know there's an understood 1, I'm going to go ahead and write it. 1 divided by anything, or anything divided by 1 doesn't change. So I still got that same thing. So this one I left the 1 on. This one I have the 1 off, just to emphasize that those are exactly the same thing. That 1 is understood to be there. So we'll put what's in the parentheses, what they have in common, here and here. That's going to go here. And then what's outside the parentheses, here and here, x plus 1. And so I've got that as my final answer. And then remember we talked about how you could FOIL it out to check it. X times x is x squared, which that's what I've got right there. X times 1 is 1x. In the inside, 3 times x is 3x. Well, 1x plus 3x is 4x. That's what I've got right there. And then the last 3 times 1 is 3. And that's what I have right there. Okay, we're going to skip number 2. We're going to go down here to number 3. All right, let's do the same thing with number 3. Let's see if we can figure out what A and C are. So A, my computer likes to capitalize those. A is still that understood 1. C in this case is negative 15. Make sure you take that sign with it. C is negative 15. So AC, 1 times negative 15, negative 15 is negative 15. So I need 2 numbers that multiply together to be negative 15 and add together to be negative 2. Well, I have 2 choices. 1 and 15 multiply together to be 15, and 3 and 5. So 1 and 15, if I subtract those, because my signs have to be different, I'm going to end up with 14. 3 and 5, well, that's going to give me the 2 that I need. Okay, so let's write 3 and 5. So I need it to be negative 15. That tells me one of those needs to be negative. And whichever one is going to be the negative, when I add those together, I need to end up with a negative 2. So I can either have negative 3 plus 5 or 3 plus negative 5. Well, if I have negative 3 plus 5, I'm going to end up with positive 2. 3 plus negative 5 is going to give me negative 2. So I'm going to put the negative over here, and then I'm going to substitute in. So x squared, that part doesn't change. And then I'm going to do plus 3x minus 5x, right? Substituting in for that negative 2. The b term in the middle is what substitutes in. And then negative 15 on the end. Okay, so I'm going to cut this in half. My understood line right here, the GCF of these two, is going to be x to the first, picking that smallest exponent. And then what I have left in the parentheses, x plus 3. Oops, I didn't put a plus. All right, and then these two. Okay, well, I notice here I've got positive, positive. Right here, I've got negative, negative, so I need to make sure I factor out a negative 5. And then when I divide away by the negative, my signs are going to change. Negative 5 divided by negative 5 is positive 1x, or just x. And then negative 15 divided by negative 5 is positive 3. All right, so what I have in the parentheses matches. That's what I'm hoping for. X plus 3. And then, in the parentheses behind it is what's outside the parentheses, x minus 5. So x minus 5. And again, if I foiled that together, if I multiplied that back out, I would get this. These are the factors of this, because if I multiply those together, I get this. And I noticed, just like yesterday, I talked about how they both need to be linear. They both need to be x to the first power. And I do have linear on both of those, so that works out nicely. All right, for this one over here, something special about this one. It starts off the same, identifying A and C. Okay, so A is 1, that's the coefficient right here. C is 36, that's the constant. So if I multiply those together, AC equals 1 times 36. Well, that is 36. So I need two numbers that multiply together to be positive 36 and add together to be 12. Trying to get that B term in the middle. So the ones that add to be 36 and multiply to be 12, 6 and 6. And so I'm going to substitute those in. So x squared plus 6x plus 6x, I just happen to have the same thing twice there, plus 36. All right, I'm going to cut it in half right there and do the GCF of both sides. I'm so glad we had already done this before the virus came. That makes this a lot easier just as a refresher instead of learning it for the first time. All right, so I factored out the x here. I see that 6 is the GCF here. So I'm going to factor that. And I end up, x plus 6 in both the parentheses, which is what I wanted to have. I need those parentheses to match. So x plus 6. And then if I look at what's outside, I see that I get x plus 6 again. And several of you were already doing this before we left. This works out to be x plus 6, close parentheses, squared, right? Because x plus 6 times x plus 6 is the same thing as x plus 6 squared. So it might seem a little bit weird that we've been working on graphing and then all of a sudden we're back to factoring again. But what we're going to put together in just a few sections is that these work out with our original graph. So if you want to look at that real quick, since we have a super short video today. Okay, if I type it together like that, look at that. You can see that that is intercept form of a parabola. So these things that we're finding as we do all this factoring are the x-intercepts for the parabolas. Before, when we did the x-intercepts, we mostly looked on the calculator. Now we're going to be able to find the x-intercepts by hand. So those of you guys who already know how to factor and you need something to say from this video, something you learned, that might be your new something that you learned. That when I put it into factored form, what I'm looking at is the intercepts, the x-intercepts specifically, of the graph of this function, which would work out to be the parabolas that we were working on before the quiz. Okay, so at this point, you guys can do the worksheet and you can go do your Delta Math homework, but otherwise, that's all I have to share with you today.